going on, everybody? I am Baltmatrix, and today we are taking a look at Skittles BRUTICUS 2.0. You might have seen this figure over at AliExpress. Well, that's exactly where I got it. The set comes with an ambulance, a sports car, a tractor trailer of some sort, an armored personnel carrier, a front-end loader, and a military helicopter. Now, this set is similar to that original set that I've already reviewed, and that comes in with this orange personnel carrier, which is exactly the same figure as in that set, and the helicopter, which is exactly the same, just a different color. This guy in that original was orange, and I believe this guy was green, I think? I could be misremembering that, but either way, these figures are exactly the same. There is no difference. And these two are exactly the same as what is in Iron Factory's BRUTICUS set. These are the exact same, or very, very, very close figures. Thanks to all my commenters in that previous video. Transformation for the armored personnel carrier is exactly the same. Pull off the gun, come to the sides, and unpeg these orange bits and flip these doors open. That will allow you to unpeg everything. Grab the back and simply rotate them out to form the legs, and grab the silver bits, flip them around to form the feet, like that. And then take the entire roof section and just kind of move it out of the way. Take the entire roof section and slide it backwards and flip up this piece. Then come to the front, flip up the front, and unpeg the sides here. And flip that down because that was sticking up. Then we can drop the front and push the head up. And that will drop in the chest. Pose the arms, pose the legs, pose the head, and push the backpack back up. And flip out the windows so that you have some room up there. And stand him up and give him his gun. And then the helicopter is equally simple. Fold down the feet, come to the canopy, and, well, remove the blades, then fold out the canopy, then unhinge and fold out the legs, and the back of the legs have these little slots that the canopy will peg into. And then turn the figure around and stand it up, split the legs apart, unpeg the arms from the sides of the body. And this is actually the hardest part, because when these are pegged in, they are pegged in here, and they're also clipped in there. So the best way I found is to push the fist out and then fold the arms down, collapse the backpack, fold that up into place, and turn the head around, and there we go. And the other thing you could do is just lift the backpack up a little bit and then peg the rotors into place, and you can do whatever you want here. Fold the tail rotor down like that. That works, and there we go. And here we have the armored personnel not swindle figure. It's very nice painted. It's just overall pretty darn good. I like the head sculpt too. And then we've got the helicopter. I love the powder blue with the silver and the orange. It works incredibly well. And that is totally Vortex's head. Yeah, these two together, very cool. Like them a lot. Now, let's go ahead and get into some of the other ones. We'll start with the front-end loader, and it's a front-end loader. To start with the transformation, unpeg the rear of the vehicle mode and just semi-fold it down a little bit. Come to the back and flip out the heels. Come to the bottom, flip out the toes. Stand the figure up, and then fold the arms out and kind of flip the... Then come to the bucket, and I like to fold the bucket all the way up. That allows you to flip up the canopy, and that can make or allow you to turn the hips around and fold this little connector bit down. And then, well, I mean, this is where you could kind of do a couple of different things. The directions just have you put the bucket and the shovel and all of that collapse up like that. And you've got this little front end loader. And then the other thing you could do to give him some more posability is flip the bucket all the way up and turn it around 360 degrees. And then you could collapse the bucket up above him. And then you could take this canopy and kind of collapse it up underneath like this. So that gives you posability in the hips, though it does make the figure top heavy. This figure doesn't come with any guns, and the directions don't really have you giving him any guns either. Posability-wise, his entire foot is on an ankle rock. The hips move, ball joint in the shoulders, hinge at the arm over 90 degrees, fists do articulate, and head is on a swivel. It's a very good-looking figure. Of the new figures, this one in robot mode is my favorite. I love the yellow and the silver and the powder blue. Overall, it just looks super good. And that head sculpt is really nice. It's Scrapper. What can I say? It's Scrapper. This is good guy Scrapper. Next up is the ambulance. And the ambulance, I mean, it looks fine. It looks like a modern ambulance. To start the transformation, we're going to actually come to start the transformation, come to the sides and unpeg these panels that are just above the wheels. Fold them out, and then the top part of the panels, fold them all the way out like that. Then come to the roof and unpeg the roof and put that off to the side. Then we can take the entire back and fold it out and flip around the toes from underneath the vehicle mode. Then we can close up those panels, flip the upper part of the panel down, and then fold them in. They'll snap into place and form the legs. And then we turn the entire torso section around. Then we come to the front, and this part is a bit tricky because of the way the front transforms. Specifically, there is a joint right there that holds this panel, holds everything together, and it's very tight. So what I do is I first unpeg the arms and fold them all the way down, and then reach inside and just kind of work the front of the vehicle mode off of the connector bit and pop it off. And it always pops off the little bar that's back here. I don't know why. Then split the arms, fold them down, come in and flip up the head, and then collapse the roof onto the back of the vehicle mode and stand the figure up and turn the arms around, and we're done. Got ourselves a little ambulance boy. Ambulance person. Overall, it works. The silver, again, continues to work well with all these colors. The figure's left arm has a hole in it just behind the tire so you can plug the shield in, and that's the only weapon that the figure has. And overall, it looks good. And that head sculpt is, I was going to say it's first aid, but it doesn't really look like first aid, but it's a nice little ambulance toy. It overall works really well, and the transformation is unique enough that it doesn't feel like Ratchet. Next up is the sports car chase vehicle thing. I just find this funny. It's like it being in Dubai. We've got ourselves a supercar that chases down people. I just find this funny. Now, the back of the vehicle mode has these little pegs that you're supposed to be able to peg one of the weapons or one of the accessories into, but no, there's nowhere for you to peg the guns, which there are two of them, into the vehicle mode. I end up actually pegging them into the exposed fists on the front end loader. Transformation. Start off with, come to the back and unpeg the feet, and then flip these around. All right, so we got the feet folded out. Next, get your finger behind the roof of the vehicle mode and unpeg it, and then take the legs and slide them out, or unfold them out, and then we can get the feet situated like that, and then turn the hips around and stand the figure up. Then come to the arms and unpeg them and fold them out. Then come to the front of the vehicle mode, push the hood up, or the bonnet, whichever you prefer to call it, up like that, and that will come down. And then this whole thing will come down, and it really won't peg into place. It just kind of sits there. You think it would, but it doesn't. And there we go. Now, according to the directions, the back of the shoulders is where you plug the guns in, like this. Yep, there we go. And then we got this little guy. The robot mode we end up with does look pretty cool. I actually do like the look. The red, the silver, and the orange, and the blue all work well. Head sculpt is really cool. It's got a very weird vibe to it, though. The proportions just don't feel right, specifically because of the shoulders. And it's almost as if, I don't know, I don't know. I don't know, because the shoulders just feel weird to me. Posability of it is a little strange. Head is on a ball joint, but can't really look up. It's kind of stuck looking down like that. Then shoulders are freely on hinges and a swivel. Swivel at the upper arm, super tight. Bend at the elbow, 90 degrees. No fist articulation. Torso swivel. Legs are ball joint. Bend at the knee. Ball joint, and then the ankle swivel. And you know what? I forgot to show you the posability of the ambulance. Head cannot move. Shoulders up and down, in and forward and back. Ball joint, hinge, swivel, ball joint. Bend at the knee is not 90 degrees. And then plenty of movement in the toes. So yeah, but next to each other, yeah, that actually works. And finally, there's a big old rescue truck, which I'm assuming is not a rescue truck, but rather a fire truck with a giant, I don't know, water spout or wind machine up here. Yes, this does become a weapon. So first off, come to the back, pull off the shield, quote unquote, then pull off this section, and then we can start transforming it. Come to the bottom and unpeg the sides here, and that will expose the legs. Come to the back and flippy out the toes, and you can leave these pegs pointing out like that. Stand the figure up, come to the front of the vehicle mode, and split the entire front of the vehicle mode apart like that. Then grab this back section, flip that up, come underneath and fold out this panel so you can flip up the head and close that up, and then pose the arms and split the legs and give him his big old water gun. And we are done. Not Onslaught here looks pretty cool. I actually really like the look of Not Onslaught on this thing. That is very, very cool. Head sculpt, that is totally Onslaught. I mean, come on. And here we have all of them together. Ambulance, sports car, the fire truck, the armored personnel carrier, the shovel, and the helicopter. It's a neat set, very colorful, very Power Ranger-esque feeling. I like it. I honestly do. I think it's really cool. Now, it doesn't have as many members as the original Skittles Bruticus set that I have. That was, I believe, 8 figures. But this one is just 6. Because we're, missing a boat. But overall, I think the set is really nice. And this set, the plastic quality on this set feels a little better than that other set. That other set, while not bad, actually the plastic on these feel great comparatively. And now, let's get them all merged up. And thankfully, these instructions actually tell you how to do it correctly, unlike the previous bot. So what we're going to do is just fold everything up, make sure the legs are out, come to the inside and unpeg that section, and then fold this section out, and it will snap into place. Then we can fold that up, and then we just fold up the arms and get those snapped up and in place. And I'm doing it wrong. And then finally, we come down to the legs, make sure those are combined, and grab the correct fist. I believe that's this one, and peg it into the bottom of those feet. I had the wrong fist. Just plain and simple, I had the wrong fist. So we need to make sure that gets pegged in, and then we fold it up, and we've got one arm good to go. No, we don't. I just looked at the directions again, and I'm an idiot. We just got to fold those legs up. Now we're good to go. Now for the ambulance, we're going to do something similar, just sort of transform it back. Oh God, this part. Oh, shoot. I have found that getting the top of the ambulance transformed back is very difficult because once you get it stuck up here, it does not want to come apart. So turn the arms around, fold them up, smish the arms together, and then pray to the gods that you could get this transformed back without breaking it. Well, we're going to just have to deal with it because if I pull this part up, you could see it's already bending and it feels like it's going to break. The problem is the screws are right there underneath the hood. So I don't know what I'm going to do. All right, turn the legs around, unpeg, fold that whole section out, and it will almost snap into place. And just get all of this pegged up. Peg the back up. Now that I've just folded up the front, I will fix this later. We want to transform the feet or the rear of the vehicle back into its alt mode. So fold those panels, connect them, fold this whole section up like that. Drop the roof into place. Oops, got that backwards. And then fold the, come on. Get these, there we go. Snap that into place, snap that into place, fold this up, and get the roof snapped into place. And then fold the feet down, slide them all the way back, and then we attach the hand, which go like that. There we go. And we got another hand ready to go. Now, for the legs, all we're going to do is just return both of these guys back into their vehicle modes. There's nothing else to really do with these. So just fold that head up, get that all situated, get the arms straight, and fold them down so they snap into the front of the vehicle mode. Fold the canopy down, and then put the legs together, fold the toes up, and flip the legs around and get them smushed into place. One issue I have with this specific figure is the ball joints are getting very loose, so there is some mold degradation happening with this. Fold these panels down, get everything snapped into place. Try to get the dang feet, forgot to turn the feet around. Whoops. Get the feet in place and fold these panels in to lock everything down. And then come to the front bumper, flip it up, and flip up the connector. And attach the gun to the roof. And now, grab one of these. Specifically, we want the one with the leg panel that allows it to be the other arm, or the other leg, like that. And then that'll just drop down like this. And so we want it to be able to turn like that. So we got a leg going. Now, for this guy, all we're going to do is just turn him back into a front-end loader. Jeez. Oh, it got stuck. Oh, dang it. There we go. Now, put those legs back on. But the one thing we're going to do is leave the foot and the heels out. So just leave them out like that. Turn the cab back to where it was and have that peg in. Take the arms, fold them back, and peg them into place. Nothing to do with the head. Turn this whole thing around, snap it down into place, fold it down, and it will form the other foot, like this. I'm serious, that's all we do. That's it. All right, for not onslaught, unpeg the weapon and then push the head back into the chest, like that. Bring this section up and peg it into place. Take the arms, fold them up, and then just kind of point them inwards. Then grab the entire figure and split it in half. Come to the legs and fold them out, and then back in to form hips, and then roll up the toes and flip down those pegs And these will then peg into our feet. One, there's one, and then the other guy will be two. And there we got some, here we have some legs. Yep, there we go. Oh, get that toe. Come on, get that toe in there. There we go. Now with this upper torso, we will reach inside and flip out these little pegs. And then we'll put this off to the side and grab the red guy. Now this transformation was a bit janky the first time I did it. It was, because I didn't quite understand what we were aiming for, specifically because the directions aren't great. So to start off with, straighten them out, put the arms straight down, then turn them and point them back. Come in and flip up the head, and we want to make sure that that head is all the way up in there. And then we want to fold the front of the vehicle mode and transform it back into the way it was in car mode. So just leave it like this. So that's what we want. Now for the legs, we want the feet and fold the feet up and get them all the way up like this. And then there is a second set of hinges in the legs. So what we want to do is bring the knees down and then hinge the legs all the way out and kind of up. Oh, I forgot to. Instead of pegging the chest in, we want to fold the entire tummy section out like this. And then bring these knees down so we get it like this. So the bottom part is going to connect to the lower torso, and then the upper part is going to peg into this peg hole right here. And then the arms will actually come in and peg into the legs once we fold them up. And there are two pegs right there, and they will peg into these slots right here like this and get them pegged in. And just make sure that the feet are folded up like that. And then we can drop the head into place like so, like that. And then on the crotch section, put the new crotch guard or armor, peg that in. Drop the whole thing down into place, into that peg hole. Make sure the robot arms are pointed in and pegged in. So there are these little pegs, and that's where these arms come in and peg in. And then we just attach the giant robot arms, the combiner arms. Slide that into place. And slide this into place. And then we can attach weapons. And here we have Skittles Bruticus 2.0. And I gotta admit, it looks pretty good. I like the look of it. Head sculpt is a little weird. It's like a combination between Superion and Bruticus, but that's fine. Unfortunately, posing him is a nightmare, and we'll get into that in a sec. But I can't argue with the overall look. I do love the way the figure looks. I think it looks incredibly good. It holds together reasonably well, and it's weird. It is just weird. But it's the kind of weird that I'm really into. There's a cohesiveness here that I really do appreciate. The thing that I don't appreciate is there's no way for him to hold any of these weapons. There's no mounting points. You can't peg them in anywhere. I mean, I could put this on here. That is the only spot. The figure cannot hold any of these weapons in any way. And he can hold, well, he could barely hold himself up, which is a problem. Standing is fine, but that's about it. Head is swivels side to side, arms move forward and back, though every time I move the arm, the shoulder unpegs, and every time I move a shoulder, it just comes right off the peg, unfortunately. And then you've got the arms that pose, but every time I do, I mean, look at that. Posability of the legs, there is a swivel, but this connection is not very tight. And then the legs are just a mess. There's so much weight here that these joints cannot hold it. And forget the toes of the knot onslaught. The toes are another joint that just have a tendency to fall and flop about. So posing this thing is next to impossible. It's just oddly weighted. The joints aren't strong enough, and it just falls over. The connectors between the lower legs and the upper thigh, they're fine. They're nice and tight. It's all the joints of the knot onslaught that's the problem. That really is the problem. But I can't argue with the look. I actually really like the look. In terms of size, we've got Commander Class Ultra Magnus, and I've got Commander Class Armada Prime. So you could get an idea of what this combiner set is size-wise. Oh, and just for the heck of it, here's Volcanicus. He's so tiny. I tried to get this guy in a more dynamic pose, but the legs kept falling off. The peg that connects them is just too short, and there's not enough clearance for there to be a bend at the knee, so it really doesn't have it. And then I tried to move the arms, and they fell off, and oh, it was not a good time. Overall, I do like the set from a looks standpoint. The individual figures are a ton of fun, but the combined mode is lacking. It just is. So folks, let me know what you think of Skittles Bruticus 2.0 down in the comments. Thank you all for watching. Please be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons, and be sure to hit the bell so you know when a new video is out. I have been Baltmatrix, and I will catch you all next time.